Okay, just did a little FPV flight with the Champ S Plus. Now I'm going to try something very different. Going to see if we can do a dual cam flight with the big Radian here. Now, the problem with this guy is assembling. It's a bit of a devil. So I've got the Droneview here on the tail, just taped on. And I've got the little Voyager tablet here. So now I'm just trying to adjust the view of the Droneview. Well, we want it fairly down, don't we? Because we want to see the ground. The ground's generally more interesting than the sky. As you can see, the Droneview's taped on the tail here. I take the wings tips off and I can just about squeeze it in my car. But it's tricky. It's a very, very tight squeeze trying to get it in my car even with the wings off. Really tight, okay. So we got the Droneview on. It's not recording yet, but it's on. I mean, it's pointing more or less where we want. So we'll go down and select the model.
Spoilers, throttle cut on.
Okay, we don't want the
speed brake closed.
We don't want that. We want throttle cut on. Mid rates is probably okay. We don't want the spoilers deployed, not for launch. Okay, and then we need a suitable battery. Oh, maybe... This is a new 3000 milliamp hour battery. Oh, it's going to need an adapter, though. Yeah, I should be okay. I mean, I was using a 3200 before, so it's a shade less, but we're not going to do an enormously long flight. I should think it should be okay. This is a zippy... I'm just wondering whether I should put some Velcro on it. What had we got on the other one? We had a little bit of fluffy Velcro on the other one, so maybe we'll put a little bit of fluffy Velcro on this one. Sort of about the middle somewhere. This dollar store Velcro, quite honestly, I find the dollar store Velcro is about as good as anything. So, we'll put a piece of, just to put a piece, we'll see if that helps, but we'll put a piece of dollar store Velcro on the middle there. Let's see if we can open this strap up a little bit. And that should hold it, hopefully. The balance plug, of course, is trying to get itself where we don't want it. And there's not much room from the wire from the ESC doesn't come up very far, but we'll do what we can. Okay, there we go. So we should have a battery. Okay, so now let's try setting the Droneview to record, which we do via the wireless link from the tablet. Well, there is a button on it to press, but I think I'd rather do it like this. Anyway, there we go. And it says it's recording 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So it says it's recording. Now, of course, this guy's heavy, and of course we have to hand launch him. Because he doesn't have any kind of undercarriage or anything. So, it's a little tricky actually, because he's quite heavy. The wind seems to have stopped again, which is weird. I thought it was going to come up. They said 15 to 25 kilometers an hour, and there was a certain amount of wind when I was trying to fly the little Champ, but there seems to be almost none now, so I guess that means it doesn't matter what direction we launch him. Okay. It always makes me a bit nervous trying to launch something like that. Well, famous last words. Let's try and fly him a bit more sensibly. Well, famous last words. I'm not flying this worth a damn, I'm sorry. adapt from one mode to another. Okay, level off a bit and just glide him a little bit. That's not really high enough to glide, but we'll glide him back and then try and get him into a more sensible position. That was a bit of a terrible launch. I just wasn't in the right frame of mind, really, for this guy. He's just very, very different to a little champ and whatever. Fortunately, he's got a lot of wing area and he works fairly okay. Putting the camera on the tail is not entirely helpful because although he's a great big heavy thing, so it doesn't make that much difference, but it does shift his weight back a little bit. Okay, let's try and go up a bit. But no, Jesus, I seem to be giving him enough power to climb. I guess he needs quite a lot of power to climb. If you want to climb him steeply, you've got to give him fairly good throttle. Well, we are climbing fairly steeply. Okay. Level off somewhere about there.
Time remaining 5 minutes.
Well, we've wasted an awful lot of power. We shouldn't really have used that much power just to get this far, but anyway. I wasn't flying in economical glider mode. No, I was using way too much power just to climb him there. I was not doing it efficiently, but anyway. Don't think we're going to get any help from anything here. Like, there's no upcurrents, no thermals or anything particularly here. Well, you know, you might, as you go over the road there might be a little bit, but it's a gravel road. It's not like a, you know. And also it's early morning as well, so it's not like as if there's been much sun to accumulate any heat into anything. Well, it does look as if he might be getting a little bit of lift there. It looks as if he's not coming down quite as fast there as he was. So yes, there may be a bit of an upcurrent there. No, now he's dropping again. Well, you've got to be very careful as well, because you lift the nose too far and you just stall him. I'm trying to just fly him along there, and I think there's a little bit of a current there, and I'm just trying to fly him along in it. I'm going to bring him round in a minute anyway. So now we'll climb him again. Try and climb him not quite so steeply because he doesn't like being climbed too steeply, naturally enough. Even a big guy like this, when you start to get him that far away, he gets a little small. And this is a big plane. So you figure if it looks that small, it's a fair way away. Well, maybe just because I've got the camera on. The camera is over an ounce. No, it's not over. It's about an ounce. I seem to be having to push his nose down a hair to keep him in a glide. If I let go of the stick, he's actually nosing up and stalling a bit. So I'm having to keep a little bit of down elevator on him to keep him in an even glide. But I mean, there's never any point trimming when you put a camera on a plane, not unless you're going to keep the camera on permanently, because we're going to take it back off again. And even if we put a camera on, we might put it on a different place next time. Yeah, he's coming down relatively fast there. I mean, we're not staying up as well as we'd like to. Sorry, I'm just moving sideways a little bit there to stand on the tar, whatever you call them, the slabs here. Oh, you know, another thing is also, when I think about it in terms of the trim, this battery probably doesn't weigh quite as much as the battery I was flying in with before, which is another thing that would shift the center of gravity backwards. I've got a 1 ounce camera on the back, and then I'm flying with a battery that probably weighs, I don't know how much less, but I haven't weighed them, but somewhat less. I was flying in with an E-flite 3200 before. This is a zippy 3000. Oh, come on! You really have got to give him, well, he's a heavy plane, I guess. You've got to give him some fairly serious power to get him to climb. And he's got the power, but you've got to give him, if you want to climb him fairly steeply, you've got to give him a fair bit of throttle. And then you've got to, and then, as I say, I have to give him down elevator then to stop him bucking. Oh well. I bought 3 of these batteries, so the other 2 I just put to a storage charge. They shipped them a bit below a storage charge, and I put the other 2 to a storage charge. This one I put up fully charged. He's coming down pretty darn fast, really. And I was going to say he was coming down a bit less then, but then I stalled him again. Little bit of wind coming now, little bit from sort of northeast. Don't really want to take him too far behind me.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
Yeah. I don't know whether he actually has less power with this battery or not. Almost seems like he did. It seemed like I had more power to climb him with the other battery, but I mean, that may just because he was more nose heavy. It certainly seems to be a bit more of a struggle to get him to gain altitude now. I'm probably going to bring him in after one more glide. We're not really. I'm not gaining much more blithering altitude now. Oh well, level off. I thought there'd be more wind than there is, because that's what the weather forecast said. And actually this guy will probably be better with a bit more wind. Well, at least you can glide him in, if you're gliding him into the wind, you can just sort of glide him in one direction for a good while and usually keep some altitude. There's not much wind there, though, a bit. I mean, because he looks almost as if he's standing still, and that obviously is because there's wind from the north. And it's almost, I'm flying him almost due north now. And he doesn't seem, if anything, he seems to be moving to the west. I don't know, maybe the wind's coming more from the due north than northeast. I thought it was supposed to come from the northeast, and I thought it was at one point. I'm a bit loath to turn him round, because I prefer gliding him in this direction, but I'm going to have to turn him round at some point, obviously. I don't want him going way behind the trees over there. But he glides better in this direction, because there's a bit of wind from the north, so I'm kind of, ooh. I don't know what that is, but we caught a bit of a rise there. Oh, you know what? It's maybe just the driveway there. But, would the driveway really radiate that much? Because we definitely caught... Oh, it's the railway. That's what it is. It's not the drive, it's the railway. That's the railway. We're catching a little bit of a rise from the railway. Because that's a railway line that runs across there. And I don't know, between, I don't know, the rails themselves and the gravel with tar on it and this, that and the other, I guess it stores some heat. Because we definitely caught a bit of a rise there as we went over the railway. On the other hand, there's nothing much over here, just over this field. It's, no, he's coming down pretty fast there, because there's nothing useful going on over there. No, see, he's coming down quite fast now. I think I'm going to bring him in now, actually. I'm just going to bring him round and bring him in, and we should be able to bring him in without having to use power again, but I don't know. I mean, it's a bit hard to predict how much he's going to hold altitude. Oh, and the wind's getting up again now. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. Oh yeah, in fact it's actually a good thing, in the sense we're gaining altitude. In fact we've actually got too much altitude to land now, really. I wasn't sure whether we were going to have enough altitude. I don't want to get into those trees. Okay.
Speed brake open.
I put the spoilers on. That'll bring him down.
Spoilers.
Yeah, he's still going to go back basically to the other end of the runway, even then. Even with the spoilers on. But anyway, that's okay.
Throttle cut on.
Yeah, I didn't want to go around again and whatever. And, they do help with landing over speed brakes. I don't see what else you'd use them for, but if you want to bring him down steadily, bring him down to land, they help to force him down a bit. See, can you see those the speed brakes there that come up out the wing?
Speed brake open. Speed brake closed. Speed brake open. Spoilers. Speed brake closed. Throttle cut off. Throttle cut on.
Okay. Ooh, as I say, this guy is new featherweight. Oh, he certainly isn't. Don't know what the gross weight of him is, but he's certainly no featherweight. He weighs a few pounds. About as much as anything else I fly. But he glides pretty nice and gently. I'll bring him in now and wrap things up. Then I got to take him to bits again to get him in the car, and it really is tricky to get him in the car. I have to wiggle him round diagonally with the door open, and then trying to wiggle him into a very awkward position so I can close the door without bashing any piece of him. My car is not big. I could really do with a bigger vehicle to be trying to fly something this large. Well, not fly, but try and transport something this large. Okay. And I see it's just started a new video. It cycles a new video every 5 minutes, the Droneview. So it records 5 minutes, and then it stops and you lose a second or two, and then it starts a new 5-minute video. About 3 minutes of motor time there. I didn't notice exactly what the elapsed time is. We'll be able to tell from the video what the elapsed time was. Oh, sorry. I'm getting confused what I'm doing. To be honest, I thought I'd turn the Mobius off as well, but I didn't. Zippy 3020C. 11.6, 3.85, 3.86, 3.88. Never seem to get even cell usage entirely, at least not according to that thing. But anyway, there you go. Radian extra large.